Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Myself Akshay Singh. Today we are going to learn chemical bonding, in that mainly lattice energy and bond Haber cycle. First, lattice energy. Lattice energy is defined as the amount of energy released when 1 mole of an ionic compound is formed from its gaseous cation and gaseous ion. Anion is called lattice energy. See here, this is gaseous cation and this is gaseous anion. It is forming 1 mole of an ionic compound. During this process, the energy released is called as lattice energy, and it is denoted by delta H suffix Le, where Le means lattice energy. This is the symbol to denote lattice energy, that is delta H Le. Second one, heat of formation. It is denoted by delta HF. Now we are going to learn what is meant by heat of formation. Heat of formation, amount of heat released when 1 mole of compound is formed from its elemental state to standard state. Heat of formation means the amount of heat released when 1 mole of compound, here 1 mole of ionic compound, here also 1 mole of an compound, but here the condition is it should be in elemental state. Elemental state means pure state to it is converting into standard state. Example, sodium we get pure state in solid, sodium we will get pure state in solid, and chlorine of Cl2 gaseous, it will form a stable product NaCl, which will be in solid state. Heat of formation means the amount of heat released when 1 mole of a compound is formed from its elemental state to a standard state is called as heat of formation. Now do. Next one, third one, enthalpy of atomization. Enthalpy of atomization. It is denoted by delta H AT. Enthalpy of atomization, it is denoted by the symbol delta H AT. Let's learn definition. Irrespective of reactants phase or state, irrespective of reactants phase comma state, product formed should be in gaseous state, and the energy released during this process is called enthalpy of atomization. Example, sodium, which will be in pure state solid, and it is converted into Na plus by losing one electron, that will be in gaseous state. Here sodium is in pure state, that is solid state, and it is converting into gaseous state by losing one electron. Here, irrespective whether the reactant will be in solid or liquid or gaseous state, but the condition is the product which is obtaining, we are forming, that should be in gaseous state, and the energy released during this process is called as enthalpy of atomization. Enthalpy of atomization. Noted. Now next one, Hess law. Fourth one, Hess law. In the first word, you remember Hess, H means heat. Here, amount of heat change, amount of heat change in a reaction, reaction in short form reaction. The amount of heat change in a reaction will be same whether the reaction occur in single step or in multi-step. Hess law means mainly H, heat. The amount of heat change in a reaction. The amount of heat change in a reaction will be same whether the reaction will take place in single steps or more than one multi-step reaction. Heat change will be same. Example, C plus O2, CO2, single step reaction, and multi-step reaction, C plus half O2, which gives rise to CO, carbon monoxide, which will be in gaseous state, graphite, gaseous, and CO, carbon monoxide, on reaction with half mole of oxygen, it gives rise to carbon dioxide, which is gas. During single step reaction and during multi-steps reaction, the total heat change in a reaction will be same. That is according to the Hess law. Note down. Fifth one, we have already read ionization energy and electron affinity in periodic table. Now we are going to learn these terms again. Electron affinity. Electron affinity means amount of energy released. Amount of energy released, amount of energy released when an electron is added, to neutral or isolated gas atom. Example, aluminium is a neutral. Here we are adding electron. Here amount of energy required, the amount of energy released when an electron is added to the isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. Here Al, aluminium is a neutral atom, we are adding one electron. Here the reaction Al plus one electron, which gives rise to Al plus. Sorry, here we are adding one electron. The amount of energy released to add an electron to a neutral atom is called electron affinity. Note down. Next one, ionization energy. Ionization energy. Here in electron affinity, we are adding electron. That time the energy is releasing. Here in ionization energy, we will remove electron. Here amount of energy required to remove an electron from isolated gas atom. Here in electron affinity, the amount of energy released when an electron is added to neutral or isolated gas atom. Here we are adding electron. Here we are removing electron. That time the energy released is ionization energy. Example, sodium is a neutral atom. Here we should remove electron, Na plus electron. Sodium is a neutral atom. Here neutral isolated gas atom. We should remove one electron. Na to Na plus electron. We have removed one electron. This is called ionization energy. Note down. Okay, next we are going to learn Born-Haber cycle. Born-Haber cycle. Born-Haber cycle. Born-Haber cycle. First of all, why this cycle? Why should we use this cycle? What is the use of cycle? First of all, Born-Haber cycle is the indirect method. It is an indirect method to calculate lattice energy for an ionic compounds. Born-Haber cycle. It is an indirect method to calculate lattice energy of ionic compounds like NaCl, Kf, etc. Here we are going to first calculate lattice energy Le for NaCl cycle Na, which will be in gaseous, Na, which will be in pure state, solid state, and chlorine, which will be in gaseous state, chlorine, which will be in gaseous state, Cl, gaseous state, and here we are getting product 1 mole of an NaCl in solid state, and the heat released during this process is called heat of formation. Here sodium is in solid state, that is pure state. It is reacting with chlorine gas, and it is forming one stable product, sodium chloride in solid state, and the amount of heat released during this process is called heat of formation. And sodium being metal and chlorine being non-metal, sodium should lose electrons. It should be converted to Na to Na plus, and chlorine being non-metal, it should gain electron, Cl to Cl minus. Na should become Na to Na plus, and chlorine being non-metal, it should be converted from Cl to Cl minus. Here first of all, sodium is in solid state, pure state. We should first convert it into gaseous state, solid to gas. The process is called sublimation. Sublimation. We are giving energy. Sublimation, energy. Here we are giving energy, so positive. Here we are converting sodium, which is in pure state, solid state, to gaseous. The process is called sublimation energy. So positive, we are giving energy, and we should remove an electron from the sodium atom, Na to Na plus. Here we are removing electron, ionization energy. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. We are giving energy, so positive. So finally we have converted Na to Na plus, and next we need to convert Cl to Cl minus. First, chlorine undergoes bond dissociation. Dissociation. Cl, half Cl to Cl gas. Here we have taken half mole, so dissociation energy by 2. First of all, we converted half Cl chlorine gas to half Cl2 to Cl, half Cl to chlorine gas, and that the process is called dissociation. Dissociation means bond breaking. Bond breaking is called dissociation. Here we have taken half mole, so by 2, and chlorine should gain electron, Cl to Cl minus, it should be converted. And here the process involving is electron affinity. Here we are adding electron. Chlorine is a neutral atom. We are adding electron. The amount of energy required to add an electron to an isolated gas atom is called as electron affinity. So Cl will get an electron, it will be converted into Cl minus. Here the total process, gaseous cation and gaseous anion are reacting to form a stable product, that is called lattice energy, and the energy released during this process is called lattice energy. This is how the lattice energy for NaCl has been calculated, and it has one formula: heat of formation is equal to delta Hf is equal to delta H sublimation energy, delta H sublimation energy, delta H sublimation energy plus delta H ionization energy, delta H ionization energy plus delta H dissociation energy, minus delta H electron affinity minus delta H. Here heat is releasing means delta H Le, that will be minus negative delta H lattice energy in negative. This is the formula to calculate lattice energy for NaCl. Note
La la la.
Okay, next second cycle we are going to learn for magnesium oxide MgO. First reaction, magnesium which will be in pure state, solid state, plus half O2 which will be in oxygen will be in gaseous state, and it will be converted into MgO, magnesium oxide, which will be in solid state, and the heat released during this reaction is heat of formation delta HF. Here magnesium is it is in its pure state, so oxidation state is +0. Here for oxygen -2. It is converting into magnesium oxide. Here oxidation state is +2 of magnesium and -2 for oxygen. Now magnesium being metal, it should lose electron, oxygen should gain electron. Here we should convert Mg to Mg+2. Mg+2, oxygen O2 to O2 2 minus. Here O2 to 2 minus, it should be converted. Now first for metal, basic reaction, magnesium which is in pure state, solid state, and it is reacting with oxygen half mole which is in gaseous state. It is forming magnesium oxide which is in solid state, and the heat released during this reaction is called heat of formation. Here in magnesium oxide, the charge of magnesium is +2, and for oxygen -2. Here Mg which is in +0. Actually pure elemental state, the oxidation state will be 0. So magnesium has +0 charge. It should lose 2 electrons. Mg to Mg+2. Mg being metal, it should lose 2 electrons. First we will convert Mg to Mg+2. Mg, magnesium which is in solid state. First it will be converted into gaseous, and the process is called sublimation. And the energy we are giving, so positive. Here Mg which is in pure state, solid state, it is converted into gaseous state. The conversion of solid state to gaseous state is called as sublimation, and we are giving energy, so sublimation energy which is positive. Here first of all we need to remove an electron, that is ionization energy. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom, Mg plus first, IE1. Let this be ionization energy 1. We need to remove another 1 electron to convert it into Mg+2. So ionization energy IE2, which is positive, here also positive, and it will get Mg+2 charge, which will be in gaseous state. Look here, magnesium which is in pure state, that is solid. Magnesium being metal, it should lose electrons. We need to convert magnesium +0 charge to +2. So first we are converting solid state to the gaseous state. Sublimation, we are giving energy, so plus positive. And next step, we need to remove an electron from the magnesium metal. So ionization energy is a process. Mg plus, we need to remove another 1 electron if we need to convert into +2 charge. So we are removing another 1 electron, so IE2, which will be in gaseous state. Now we are coming to oxygen. Here half mole of O2 is there. We need to first break the bond, dissociation. The process is called dissociation. That is half mole so by 2 O2, which is in gaseous state. Now we have converted half mole of oxygen to the gaseous state, O2. Then we need to add 1 electron. Totally we need to add 2 electrons. First 1, then 1 we will add. First O2 minus, which will be in gaseous state. First of all, we are adding electron, means electron affinity. To a neutral atom, we are adding electron. That is electron affinity, it is negative. Here the energy is released, so negative. And atom only takes one electron. Here already we have added one electron, so atom cannot take another electron, so we are adding forcefully. So positive charge, and Ea2, Ea1, Ea2, and it will get O2 2 minus, which will be in gaseous state. First we added one electron, that is electron affinity 1, and it converted into O2 minus. Then we are adding another electron forcefully, so we will get O2 to the charge minus 2. Here the total process, that is 1 mole of magnesium oxide is formed from gaseous cation and gaseous anion, is called as lattice energy, and the energy released during this process is lattice energy. It will be negative, and this is the formula of Born-Haber cycle for magnesium oxide. Delta HF is equal to delta H sublimation energy, that is positive, which is in positive, plus delta H ionization energy 1 plus delta H IE2. Here both ionization energies will come. Now here the formula changes as delta H Ea2 minus, here delta H sublimation energy plus delta H IE1 plus delta H IE2 plus delta H dissociation energy minus electron affinity 1, that is minus, plus electron affinity 2 minus delta H lattice energy. This is the formula to calculate lattice energy for magnesium oxide. Just on cross multiplying delta H minus delta H Le to the LHS, we can calculate lattice energy for the magnesium oxide. Now done. Okay, after this we are going to discuss factors affecting lattice energy. That is the last thing in this session. Factors affecting lattice energy. Can you guess at least what are the factors affecting lattice energy? It can be your charge, it can be your size, like that, right? Here we are going to learn factors affecting or factors on which lattice energy, lattice energy depends on. First of all, reaction Na plus, which will be in gaseous state, plus half Cl2, chlorine will be in gaseous state. It will form 1 mole of solid sodium chloride. Here the amount of energy released during this process is called delta H lattice energy. Here first of all, positive and negative, like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Here attraction, more the attraction, more lattice energy, more the attraction, more the lattice energy. If the attraction is less, means lattice energy will be less. And first factor, this is second one, it has one formula, F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square. Formula F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square, where K is constant, Q1 charge on cation, and Q2 charge on anion. K is a constant, Q1 is a charge of an cation, Q2 charge of an anion, and R is a distance between the ions. R is a distance between ions, and F is force. F is in force, K is in constant, Q1 is in charge of an cation, and Q2 is in charge of an anion, and R is in distance between the two ions. Now more the distance, less force, comma, less lattice energy. Through this statement, we can understand that force and lattice energy are inversely proportional to the R or distance. That is distance. Force increases, comma, lattice energy also increases. R value, distance value decreases. Force increases means lattice energy also increases, and distance R, which is the distance between two ions, that is decreases. This is the second one. Second factor, note down. Okay. Third factor, if lattice energy is more, the size should be less. Size of ion or atom should be less. That is, lattice energy inversely proportional to size. This is one condition, and another one, lattice energy is directly proportional to charge. Lattice energy inversely proportional to size, and lattice energy directly proportional to the charge. If lattice energy increases, charge on the cation and anion increases, while coming to lattice energy increases means size decreases. They are inversely proportional. Let's learn this by using some examples. Let's take some examples. Here they have given three compounds. Example 1, NaF, MgF, AlF3, and they are asking which has more lattice energy. Between these compounds, these three compounds, which one has more lattice energy, they are asking. First of all, see here cation, here sodium, here magnesium, here aluminium. Different cations, but anion is same, fluorine. Now first of all, we'll see in terms of charge. Sodium, magnesium, aluminium. Sodium has +1 charge, magnesium has +2, aluminium has +3. So we can conclude that aluminium +3 is greater than magnesium +2, which is greater than sodium. So aluminium has more lattice energy. Due to lattice energy is directly proportional to charge, we can conclude that aluminium has more lattice energy. More lattice energy. Note. And second example, second example, Na2O MgO Al2O3. In this, which one has high lattice energy and which one has less lattice energy, we are going to decide. First of all, cation, different cations, but anion is same, oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. Here we are going to take first of all cation, sodium, magnesium, aluminium. Here sodium has +1 charge, magnesium has +2, aluminium has +3 charge. So we can directly conclude that aluminium Al2O3 has more lattice energy, and sodium has less lattice energy. Aluminium has Al2O3 compound has more lattice energy due to the more charge. Here sodium, which has +1 charge, will have less lattice energy. Another an example, example number 3, LiO Li3N. Here cation is same, but anion is different. Here oxygen, here nitrogen. Here charge of anion is -2, oxygen has -2 charge and nitrogen has -3. So nitrogen being which has more charge and has more lattice energy. Here oxygen has -2 charge and nitrogen has -3 charge, that is nitrogen has -3 charge, that is more charge, so it has more lattice energy. So oxygen will have absolutely minus, that is less lattice energy. Last example, example number 4, that is NaF and MgCl2. Here in this case cations are different and anions also different. First we will go with charge. Na, which has +1 charge, magnesium has +2 charge. Here magnesium has more charge, so more lattice energy. While coming to anion, fluorine and chlorine, it has -1 charge, it also has -1 charge. Halogens usually has -1 charge. But while coming to size, chlorine has more size, fluorine has less size, that is small size. And we know that lattice energy indirectly proportional to size, means which one has more lattice energy, more size, that has less lattice energy. So chlorine will have less lattice energy, but fluorine, which has less size, it will have more lattice energy. In this case, see here, in first, while coming to charge, we know that magnesium has +2 charge and it will have more lattice energy. But in second case, fluorine, which has more lattice energy. Here both the cases seem to be like correct. In these cases, we'll accept that, we'll think that we know that charge dominates size. You need to remember charge dominates size. Here, according to this rule, Mg plus 2, which has more charge and more lattice energy, that compound has more lattice energy. MgCl2 will have more lattice energy. Okay students, let's wind up to here. Let's meet in next class. Bye.